Welcome back. Over the phone with us live now His Excellency Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, the political analyst. Good evening, Ambassador Ayoub. How are you doing, sir? First of all, tell us about your opinion regarding the recent escalation between the Israeli occupation and Iran. Of course, we have all seen that there were some strikes that targeted the Iranian embassy, and in retaliation, Iran have retaliated with ballistic missiles over the Palestinian occupied territory. If you would like to talk to us, what's your assessment of the current situation?
This what I call fake war, because it is detrimental to the peace process in the Middle East and also to stability in many of the countries in the Middle East, not only Jordan and Syria and Iraq and Israel itself, but also in Egypt, because we have a precarious situation in Sinai. We don't want any escalation because it is detrimental to the stability and also the political and economic interests of the people of the area. So Iran and Israel are doing benefit to the hostilities and to detrimental process of the detrimental efforts in this direction. That is why we say that peace should prevail instead of this fake war, because it will not affect any of the strategic positions in Israel. And also Iran is far away from Israel, and Israel was not fair in its dealing with Iran and striking its installations in Syria and in Iraq. And now we see that Iran is retaliating, and the people of Israel and or I will say occupied territory of Palestine are suffering from this. They can be Palestinians, they can be Israelis or whatever, but in all cases, people are suffering from this retaliation, and it should be stopped because it is a fake war which will not affect the strategic positions of either of the two countries in the area.
Right. The expansion of such a situation, I mean, the situation now between the Israeli occupation and some countries in the region, regardless of the genocidal crimes that are committed over the Palestinian territory and the bombardment over the innocent unarmed civilians, but the situation between Israel and some countries in the region is over the edge, is really over the edge, and it's very alarming to the whole region in the Middle East. So if you would like to talk about that in detail, and how dangerous could the escalation in that particular situation lead to in the lead future?
Since the 7th of October last year until now, these are all the results of the Israeli occupation, Israeli aggression against the Palestinians in their homeland. This is one of the, and Israel is beginning to suffer from what it is doing, has been doing for these 5 or 6 months until now. Israel should stop escalation, should stop aggression, otherwise many countries of the world, or many countries of the world have severe diplomatic relations with Israel. Now Iran is beginning to attack Israel itself in response to the Israeli aggression also against the Iranian interests in Syria and Iraq and in other places. We have seen situation in Yemen and how the navigation in Suez Canal was affected by what is being done by the Houthis. So Egypt is suffering from this escalation by Israel and by Iran, and we need to stabilize the situation. Otherwise, it can spread to other areas, which will be detrimental to stability in the Middle East, and Iran is not far away from these detrimental effects of the aggression in Gaza, or Israeli aggression on the Palestinians in their homeland. So Iran itself will be suffering unless it stops this escalation, because they think they are far away, but they are not far away. Their interests can be inflicted with aggression by Israelis, and we have seen samples of it in Syria and in Iraq. So Iran and Israel should come to terms in some way or other to stop this escalation, because it is detrimental to the peace process and the stability in the Middle East, which is important for all the peoples of the Middle East.
Right. Of course, Egypt have been following up over the escalated situation between Iran and Israel in the past few days, and immediately after the retaliation of Iran, the foreign ministry have issued a statement. So what's your assessment of that, and if you like to elaborate over it?
The statement by the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Egypt was quite important at this time, because it highlighted the position of Egypt as far as escalation in hostilities between two countries is concerned. Self-control is very important in this respect, and escalation should be stopped, because many interests will be harmed. Even the Iranian interests themselves will be harmed in this respect. And so the Minister of Foreign Affairs was clear in its position as far as where Egypt stands, and we are not with this or that side force, but we should self-restraint is very important at this time, because it is easy to begin a war, but it's not that easy to end it.
Right. My final question to you, Ambassador Ayoub, is about the exerted efforts by the Egyptian administration. I mean, Egypt is the leading country inside the region that is taking all these efforts over its shoulders, and even leading other countries in the sense of giving, allowing humanitarian aid, taking stances against the Israeli occupation, releasing the statements that is supporting the Palestinian issue and everything. So what's your assessment of the Egyptian stance, and if the efforts exerted by Egypt is going to lead to some future hope?
There is a hope, because Egypt is keen to establish peace in the area. Egypt is the gateway for all the assistance to the Gaza Strip, and 80% of the assistance to the Gaza Strip comes from Egyptian sources, 20% from other countries in the world. Egypt has done a lot as far as stability in the Middle East and in Gaza and in Sinai is concerned, and we have interest in encouraging other countries to support this process, because Egypt is suffering, and at the same time it is playing a pivotal role as far as peace process in the Middle East is concerned. Egypt has done a lot in this respect, and it was clear that we will not accept any incursions on our territory, on our borders, and at the same time we encourage other countries to self-control their actions, because the people will be suffering from any incursions on the peace process, whether by Israel, as we have seen in Western Bank and in Gaza, and also right now when they are retaliating against Israelis, and the casualties will be civilians from some Arab countries and the Palestinians inside Israel. So this escalation should be stopped at once, and Egypt was very clear in this respect, and will be supporting any peace process or any peace efforts in that direction.
Right. In that sense, Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, the political analyst, would like to thank you, sir, talking to Cairo Local Time. Thank you so much. We're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue, so stay with us.